Góðan daginn and welcome to the Project Pile. My name is Gunnhildur, I'm an Iceland, live in Iceland, and this is my podcast, vlog, chat type of thing where I talk mainly about knitting, crocheting, yarn, anything fiber related when I learn about it, because the things that people do with yarn and fibers is just out of this world. I also talk quite a bit about the weather because the weather is interesting and I'm your stereotypical middle-aged Icelander who just finds the weather interesting. Called the project pile because I have projects and they are in piles and I keep bungling the introduction. I made the introduction. I keep bungling it. But yeah, hello! So again, I have not been the most productive. And I cannot blame it on the weather being super nice this past week because, well, it hasn't been bad. We had a bit of rain, lovely, lovely rain, and I mean, it's not sunny and warm, but the difference in the vegetation has just been astronomical. Like, okay, so where I live, it's in the eastern part of Iceland and there's a lot of moss. It's a moss country. It's moss. Love it. And the difference in the moss, in just the colors, the depth, the tones, everything. As soon as the moss just drags in all the rain, all the moisture, is just... For example, one of my favorite types, which I have no idea what it's called, I just think it's pretty. It tends to be like high up in the... Well, I can't even show you right now because it's covered in clouds. But it tends to be like higher up in the mountains, in the cliffs, where it's quite a bit, I can English, rather barren. And it grows along where little streams will form. I think in Iceland it's called lækjarmosi or stream moss. And when it gets wet, it turns an almost a neon green color. I love it. And with the other greens from the other mosses, it's just, it's pretty. Moss is pretty. I love moss. It's the, yes. But yeah, like I said, I haven't really been that productive. My sweater is still at the same space it was 2 weeks ago. Yeah, the goal is to get it done this summer, so I will get it done. That is a promise that I have made for myself. As for the hat that I'm crocheting, I'm a little conflicted. Obviously I'm using a different yarn than the pattern calls for, but it has the same weight, it has the same volume, it has the same metrics, everything, but it's looking a lot more like a children's bucket hat than a summer hat. Like, I mean, in my defense though, I am still learning. It's not finished, I still have like a couple of rounds to go. But at least, like, this is not complicated. This is not a complicated pattern to follow, which makes me think that I'm probably doing something wrong. But like, at the same time, I kind of don't care because I'm still learning. It does look pretty. It just reminds me of a toddler's hat. So clearly I still have some things to learn. I'm on the fence of whether I should like frog it and restart it or just finish and see where I end up with and then just use this as a learning experience, which it's kind of what I'm leaning towards. So there's that. But still, like, really lovely pattern. It's just not quite what I thought it was going to turn out to be like. Still cute though, very cute. So I'm still working on this on Tuesday nights, on knit nights. And since there isn't that much left with this one, there we go. Clearly, I mean, I need to finish this and the sweater that I've been working on. But there's so many other things to get done. There's also I've been thinking, because this hat was actually something that I hadn't been planning to work on. I was planning to start on the pants when I got the bikini done, but then I didn't because I saw the yarn and the pattern and I need to make the hat, which has been taking me. But I think the next project I will be starting on, crochet project, will be the pants because I want to get them done. I want to get it done. I also really want to get started on the dress that I'm gonna be knitting. Can't quite remember where I put the pattern though. One of these days I'm gonna get properly organized. I am getting there. But like the Mandarin Petite, which I have never worked with, is so soft and I cannot wait to get that dress done because it's gonna be so nice to wear. And that is the next thing. Also the crochet dress that I need to be making, and then this batwing sweater that I want to get to. Maybe in the autumn though, because I mean I think it's like, you know, spring type of thing, but like Iceland tends to be around the cooler side, so that one isn't as high up on my list of things to make. I do have the yarn for it and I think it's gonna look really cute together. It's gonna be really interesting. And then the other like simple project to be having next to me by the computer or when I'm, you know, just needing something to do, I need to get working on the granny square sweater because if you can hear that rumbling, that's a boat. That's a, what do you call it? I can't remember what trawler. It's a fishing trawler. Haha, remember. But yeah, I really want to get started on this granny square cardigan as well because that's another thing that I want to get done this summer. At least before the autumn. It's gonna be so cool, so cool. There's so many things to do. But yeah, I do feel better to have like this, have like a plan that I can follow, like a list check of what I've got done, adding to it. It does feel better to have some kind of a semblance of organization. My track record of following the organization, it is getting better, so I am feeling pretty good about myself. The drawback is that every time that I tidy up in my to-do basket, I always come across something that I was meant to be doing, and then I fell in love with something else and started doing that, and then that was loud. It's really loud. But yeah, I'm getting really distracted by a fishing trawler. Hey! So yeah, I don't need to be outside to get distracted. I just need to hear a very loud boat, ship. I'm also a little bit distracted because, I mean, it was raining this morning, which is a wonderful thing to wake up to. It's getting a little lighter now. I don't think it's gonna be sunny. It's still gonna be like overcast and a little foggy, but that's just a nice weather to have from time to time. I've also been making little plans with my youngest sister. She might be coming in this summer and we are making plans because I really feeling the need to get going at getting my own home, my own space, because of how things have been in the past 20 years. That hasn't really been a priority. There have been other things to prioritize, so I'm not gonna get into details. I mean, I don't feel that good of sharing too much on the internet. Never a good idea, but let's just say that I am at the point where that is something that I need to start prioritizing. It's very positive. Everything about this is positive. There's nothing negative in the background. There's nothing of that sort. Nothing, no drama. It's just getting to the point where separating the household is the next step. That sounds really dramatic. It really isn't. But yeah, my younger sister is. We're planning that she comes to my town, hopefully this summer, next month, probably, and come look with me for some potential housing. Yeah, very excited about that, and hopefully we will find something that is suitable and within my range. And yay! Honestly, right now I'm like, you know, the thing when you do when you're visualizing your new space, you're like, I'm gonna do this and that, put things like there and do this and paint those walls, and I'm like, I don't even have that house. But I'm having daydreams. So much fun. So yeah, my brain is more scattered than usual. I am doing a little bit of tidying up to distract myself, because there are things that are overdue. Like daft things. It does help. Like, I'm running from yarn to pants to housing to books. It does help, but also not really help, that I'm currently reading Marie Kondo, because I've been really, really curious about this book for years. And then I read the Goodreads reviews before I got to the book, and those are hilarious. The fact that so many people are actually offended by this book, I'm like, okay. Because then I read the book and I'm like, that's not what the reviews were talking about. And because, as it turns out, as usual, there are always going to be people who are offended by the mere notion that someone is telling them how to do things. And then you read the book and it's like, suggestions. And, you know, this worked for me. Maybe there's a good chance that it might work for you, because it has worked for a lot of other people. And then there are people who get offended by that, which is natural, it's human. But those Goodread reviews are hilarious. They are so funny. So those actually inspired me to pick the book up and start reading it, and it's like, I'm actually having fun. Of course, I always, when I'm reading any type of like self-help books or lifestyle books or whatever you call those things, I am prejudiced towards them. I never open them with a completely open mind. I was like, so what BS am I going to be given here? This one, I mean, I'm reading it with the intention of reading it. I'm not really visualizing following it, least of all 100%. And what surprised me is that I actually kind of like it, because it literally starts with saying, this takes time. This is not a weekend thing that she is telling you to do. She is like, this is gonna take you 6 months, minimum. And I'm like, well, that sounds healthy. And literally the progress of tidying, as Marie Kondo is telling you, is like, before you start, you're gonna sit down and you're gonna ask yourself questions about why you're tidying up, what the mess is, like, what is bothering you about the mess, and ask yourself why. It's like a little bit more than that. I'm paraphrasing, but there's an entire thing in this book about you, about how you are feeling, what the mess in your house is making you feel, and why you feel the need to go into this particular progress. And that's like, that actually sounds rather healthy. I mean, I do also appreciate the fact that the lettering is fairly large, so it's easy to read even when I take my glasses off. There's only 5 chapters. There are like all these paragraphs or parts, and they are short and easy to read. The one thing that I am a little apprehensive about is the entire thing about books. Because I am a bibliophile, I collect books, I read some of them, but mostly I collect them. So that is... And again, this is why I entered this book with a lot of prejudice towards it. I'm thinking that she's going to tell me to throw everything away. But no, she's telling me to look at the things that give me joy, the things that I look at and I go, aha, those are the things that I'm supposed to keep. The things that just make me kind of depressed looking at them, those are the things that I need to get rid of. Like the things that I've been keeping for 20 years because maybe someday, but someday never arrives, someday never comes. So I'm like, well, that makes sense. So yeah, I'm gonna keep reading Marie Kondo. I'm gonna keep having a little conversation with my youngest sister about the summer plans, and yeah, think happy thoughts. Try and finish the hat because I really want to get started on the pants. You know, the ones with the flower motif, open flower motifs down the side. I'm like, interesting. And yeah. Also, before I let you go, I got this actually off Shein. They had a set of 3 of these together. This is the largest one. This is a 2-liter one, or 64 fluid ounces. I started yesterday of being conscientious about drinking water because I thought I was drinking enough, and I'm like, probably not. I'm actually behind. And the thing is, I drank 2 liters of water yesterday, plus anything else I felt like, and immediately feel better today. My skin felt a lot better, my stomach, everything. I was just like, good to go. So I'm like, clearly I have not been drinking as much water as I thought I was. Because if I'm feeling this much better just from a single day of watching my water intake, I probably should have started this sooner. Also, like, the set that I got myself, it's this 2-liter one that is about a liter and then a half a liter. So, and they're, you know, this color, this gradient, so the fact that they are pretty and they got this like little set goals on the side, that works for me. So hopefully those will help me to drink enough water. So that is another thing that I'm working on, making sure that I'm drinking enough water. And now I'm just like really excited about the future because it's gonna be stressful, but it's something that I need to get done because this is something that I need. So in the meantime, I'm going to keep on, I feel like I'm repeating myself. I need to finish the hat, start on the pants. Really need to get that sweater working because it's such a simple fix. I just need to do it. I just need to put in that live line and then pull it back and just repeat it and do the short rounds correctly. And then get a body done, and then get the arms done, sleeves, and get to wear it because that's the point. And yeah, I think the lovely, because listen, I didn't even tell you, this is alpaca, baby alpaca silk in combination with kid silk. So this is so soft and nice together, and I think the colorway is going to be very interesting and lively and like moving. And the dresses and the grunge square cardigan, because this is such a simple, quick make to make. But also, like, I've got 3 weeks of work left, and then I got my summer vacation. And I'm so looking forward to a vacation. Like, is this the 17th is when my vacation starts, so that's gonna be so nice. And my goal is to get quite a bit of things done here at home before then, like some cleaning and tidying up, so that I can actually relax and like do things. But yeah, I think that's enough for me this weekend, and I will hopefully see you again next weekend and see what news we will have then. Again, hopefully the volcanoes will be, you know, doing their thing by just keep sleeping, just stay asleep, thank you. Hopefully the volcanoes. Now I feel like I've jinxed things. Now I feel like I like. Hopefully they're not listening. But yeah, again, thank you very much for watching me ramble on, and hopefully I'll see you again next weekend, and we'll see what will happen then. Okay, until then, take care and have a good one. Okay, bless bless.